Yeah, so ping me your
Yeah, I have pasted the link.
Yep, I got it. Yep, thank you. Let's review your LinkedIn profile. So did you leave your job or you're still working on a job?
No, I have left the organization.
Yeah, you left the organization. Right, I'm just going to share your screen so that you can see that. Okay, so that's okay, good. This is your profile, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. So basically you're a technical support engineer.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so you have passed your BTech electrical electronics from 2019. So you had
Yes.
customer service support. So what were you actually, so what kind of job were actually you're looking?
Previously I was into the like technical supporter,
No,
and
I got it, but what are you looking? That is more important. I know previously you were something else, but now
yes,
more
now
important is what
I'm
you want to
looking
do.
for the yeah, previously I was in the L1 support, but I'm looking for the L2 support level. It is like system admin
Okay.
at system like that.
So you want to become something like system admin, like Azure DevOps
Yes,
guy,
system yes, data
or
analyst.
or
Something which I
AW.
want to enlarge my skills, and I want to get into the better. I don't want to be in a technical supporter guy.
I got it. So basically, means system support means DevOps, right? Which is like there's two good one. One is Azure one, and one is AWS. And there's I think
AWS.
yeah. So
Yes.
there usually there is a combined, but they also separate. Like AWS guy is its own expert. So what do you know about AWS?
Uh, like system administrator in the sense, in my previous organizations, system admin can able to manage the up to Linux shell scripting up to that level, and based on these organizations, it varies from organization to organization, right?
No, I
So
got it. It means it doesn't matter what you do. What is important is what you know.
what I didn't know complete about this. I just basic knowledge,
Okay.
literally. So I'm learning Python and I'm learning data analytics. I started that.
Yeah, but Python is really not a DevOps, right? Python is just scripting, but these days it's all you have to follow whatever Azure says or
Yes,
whatever
my
AWS.
final goal is to be a data scientist.
Yeah,
So
the DevOps is not data scientist, okay?
yeah,
DevOps
yeah,
is
I got it. I know. DevOps is a different, but I'm not looking for exactly DevOps. So I'm just looking for the data scientist.
okay.
So I
Data.
want to like into the next level.
Yeah, there is no next level. There's always one level only. These days, the experience, non-experience doesn't, because the technology is not that complicated these days anyway. So if you want to be Python, it could be Python. There's only one level. Either you know or you don't know. That's it, period. There's no second level, third level. I know people do have seniority, but it doesn't really matter. I've been like fresher could be maybe more productive also. So these days, because obviously the technology is changing so fast, right, rapidly. So fresher could be pretty much be more. I don't know why. Okay, how do I get rid of this guy? Oh my goodness. Okay, maybe from here. Okay, so let's see what we have here. Okay, we don't want to see this. We don't want to see this. Okay, there's nothing here which is of interest. Right. So basically, you want to be data scientist, right? And so,
Yes.
do you know, like, so how did you decide to become a data scientist? Like, is it your interest you want to do?
Uh, at starting of my career, I don't know what to I want to be. But after I get into the field, IT field, so I started the interest towards the data.
Okay.
So I started interest is keep on increasing towards the data career science, science career. Sorry. So finally,
And
I fixed,
yeah, go
and
ahead.
I
Yeah.
want to be a data scientist.
Okay, perfect. No worries. So, and you're open to any location in India, or you are only stuck with Hyderabad?
No, I don't have any location preferences. I just looking for the opportunities. That
I know, yeah, opportunities there. You just have to. We will just cover that in a few minutes. Like how do we convert this opportunities? There are like lacks of opportunity, right? That's what I'm. Okay, so basically, data scientist is not lacks of job opportunities. So data scientist, I know there's a lot of guys doing data science, right? So that is data science. I will
yes,
just
yes.
block that guy, right? Data science. Okay, let's search. Okay, they have even actually made it data. Let's make it little science. So data scientist is around 1100 jobs, right? Back in, right. So whatever is the filter, can you see that there's a big difference between backend developer and full stack? That's what in Naukri we usually find lakhs of jobs. Any field we look.
Yes. Excuse
me. Okay, so data scientist. Okay, let's go to Python. So maybe it's not called data scientist. Basically, that's what I understood. Data scientist is a dying field because there's nothing called data scientist. What do you mean by data scientist actually? What do you do with data? It's so easy. Like there's something called data architect and data developer.
data engineer, data analyst, like we can be anything by learning all these stuff. What are required for the data extraction and scripting languages?
Yeah. So they see Python. You saw how many jobs is there? More than lakhs.
Yes.
So that's what you have to. Okay. So basically, first of all, before you make up your mind, right? You have to look what is the market demand. If there's no market demand, so it looks like there's absolutely no market demand for data scientists. Like it was in like thousands. Forget about not even 10,000. But okay, so Python jobs is there, and data. Okay, and more. I think Python and so any experience in Python? Hi, Monica.
No.
We will come back to you, Monica. I think okay, we might have to accept you joined late, so okay, we'll discuss. We are discussing with Lakshmi what she wants to do. Yeah, go ahead, Lakshmi. Lakshmi, what is your Python experience?
Basic level only, Praveen.
Basic only. Okay. So basically, I think you have to make up your mind one thing, what exactly you want to make, right? So you can't be parallel. How much were you getting last job?
CTC.
Yeah, monthly. Don't worry about CTC.
42,000.
42,000. So you were getting pretty decent amount, right? You're almost on the 42,000. Yeah, almost 5 lakh to 6 lakh package. So it was not
Yes.
bad actually for technical support. So you should not have. So whenever you on another thing, remember in career, right? Never leave your job unless you find your next job.
No, I just left the organization for my personal purpose.
Okay. So there was some other thing. Okay, that's good. Okay, so we'll come back to you. So basically, like how did I find out what is a demand in the market? Now you know, like how did I search in front of you and figure out like which one has more demand. So if this has more demand, there's more likelihood of getting this job. And you're fresher, you doesn't have. So there's another thing called niche developer, right? Something which is very unique, which nobody has, like a JSF developer.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, but you don't have a niche skill because you're just a fresher. You're basically trying to move away from existing field to a much more development kind of role. Right.
Yes.
So this is one area which you can go. There's another area which you can go is as we're talking about like AWS. Let's see how much. I feel AWS because more and more companies are using AWS now. They are actually getting
yes. In data science fields also, cloud platform is one of the thing that is most of the people use AWS as the for the data science.
I know, but they are not posting as a job. Like so, AWS around 43, not as wild as Python, but obviously we don't need that many DevOps guy because one DevOps guy can control a 10 people development team. And let's see Azure. How much is Azure? So Azure is also in 10,000. So it's a lot more. And so let's see data again. Maybe we. So what do you data analyst? Let's see. Data analyst is not a data scientist. Okay, data analyst are kind of a soft skill. It's not really any more technical.
Yes.
It's kind of technical. You do make like data diagrams and other stuff like that. Yeah. So data analyst is pretty much good. That's what I said. Data analyst is good job. Usually, but availability will be quite high because it's not a new field, like unlike AWS and Azure, which is a brand new field, and we still saw more jobs than this. Whereas data analyst is like they've been there for last 20 years, like data architect also. It's not a new field. It's been there like even 20 years ago we were doing data. And it hasn't changed little anything much apart from we just using Python. Let's see. Yeah, data architect around less because obviously architect role not everybody gets it. But so overall it seems like data is a pretty bad field. I know our interest might be there, but it doesn't have the job opening. So, and I know many institute are now actually making like engineering in data scientists, something like that,
Yes.
Data science. So I will let you research a little bit more. Like I'm just trying to figure it out. Like this is my data science has a little bit more. Okay. So basically, I think if you want to so basically you will be treated a kind of a fresher, right? Okay, data technical support, Python. Okay, January. So you have around this guy. Okay, so let's look into the other parameters. So basically, my feeling is like we will get back to your skill set once you see your resume and what you're trying to learn. But it looks like data may not be the right way for you to go. But we'll go. I'll let you research more and we can discuss it later. Okay. But okay, let's see other points. Career, right? So training, career. So what are the other things to get a job? Like the one is obviously you have to find out what there is a demand in the market, right? There's two things. Either you work in something which has a demand in the market. I think, yeah, because you're not an entrepreneur, like you're not trying to launch something. So you have to go with what is available. Where is career? Training. There is no career. Okay, okay, maybe it's in transfer. Not here, then where it is, material. Maybe it's in training folder. Yeah, because it's part of it, career. Right? So when we looking for a job, right? So what else we do? Career solutions, right? Okay, let's see that. Is this 26.3? Yeah, that's a recent one. Okay, and I will give you you connect with me as well so that we can get the future step because I think meeting might end in like 15-20 minutes. Okay, let's see where you are. Are you connected with me? Did I message you anytime? We didn't message you. So yeah, you have to connect with me. Okay, and because you can connect with me or send a message because I have my. How do I give you the link? Chat. Right, so connect with me. Oh, it is your profile. I will have to give you my profile, not your profile. Okay, so I got your profile. I think so. Let's see my profile, new profile. Right. So connect with me. So basically, when you're getting a job, like first of all, how long have you been looking actually?
Recently.
So you still have to go with it, right? I think what you are feeling is like even if you get through shortlisting process, probably you will flop in the. So you have to first make up a mind, right? Which one is getting response. I feel that Python developer will be a lot more demand because Python is used in a lot of fields. Like Python is used in data, Python is used in automation, Python is used in making web development, and it's the same language, right? So Python has a lot broader application than a narrow focus data. Means you could become data. Maybe the project you join as a Python could be a data project, data extraction, but data, as I said, is like a more of a business requirement. Like so if you are based in UK and other stuff, even UK doesn't have much demand on data scientists. Yeah, because I've seen people struggle with, even though UK people are looking for technical people. Okay, so basically these are some of the reasons. We'll get through I will put them in a website, okay, so that you can actually easily find it. So basically there are a couple of reasons why you don't get selected, right? So it's not that accident and somebody gets selected and somebody don't get selected, right? You're less capable, right? If you don't know this technology, whichever you go with, like Python or stuff. you will not be selected, right? The companies who is hiring are not fool, right? They know what they are, or you score less in your test, like if the tech testing, yeah. So you lack experience and dedication. So that's another thing which you don't have resume. So this can be built up. So basically you can start doing real life project, your job. So let's go through and again, if you're jobless for long, you may take a break in a career, because people, every year new guys are coming in, or girls are coming in, and company prefer, I said, like, freshers are much more productive than experienced people. The company prefer freshers, like they will rather hire a 2023 graduate than a 21 graduate, because it's,
Yes. Yeah.
because because as I said, like, it's not no longer true that experience, because I can learn Python in a week. It's not a big deal, right? What they really need is like smart person who can learn faster and other thing. And they rather prefer a young guy, fresh out of the college, than some experienced guys who haven't delivered, means who's still looking for job, right? If you were already sticking with the job, so it shouldn't be, at least your resume should not break like this suddenly. Like, whatever your resume was, that you have to make sure that you have the content. So you have to join some real project. So we do help you with that. Okay, so I think, yeah, so okay, knowledge. Okay, so basically you need to build the knowledge, right? So I think first of all, you don't have to become smart. So we do a program where we make your brain more powerful, but I don't think you need that right now, because you're still young, you're not that old, right? So we don't need to make you smarter or more, but you certainly need to increase your knowledge, which you would, first of all, you have to pick up a area and then stick with it. Once you master Python, maybe you can pick up another thing, pick up another thing. You could be mastered in 2 or 3 things. Nobody's saying you can't only be open to one field, okay? I don't think you need to hack your brain and body, because, as I said, we do make people smart and genius, but I don't think you need to do. So basically, you need to build your knowledge. I don't think you need to enhance your brain. You don't need to enhance your RAM and other stuff like that. Yeah, and as I were talking about real life projects. So you need to start working with real life project, right? So if you get associated with us, like we have a lot of project which we are doing, which you can start. So your CV will stop the break. You can start documenting what you're doing in this, and these are real life projects which we make you work on this, right? So what is the view? Because people are looking for not jobless person. Remember, they are trying to give you a job, but they're trying to see whether you're already working, and they somehow feel that the working people are more talented. It's just a mindset. And of course, you have real experience, because if somebody is trying to hire a Python, they will look for whether you have worked in Python. Because if I look into your CV now, it doesn't say Python anywhere, right? It doesn't say. But if you suddenly have a top project which says about Python, suddenly it stands out. Like, so I will look into, like, I have a many profile, right? So I'll just look into one of my profile and show you like how Python resume looks like. Okay, so I have so whichever profile I want to apply. So I have focused on not just Python, but UI side of Python. So I don't know Python automation and other stuff. So, but I'm only focused on UI side of Python. I said Python itself is big. You can focus generally as a fresher, I think, or maybe 2-3 years is acceptable to have a generic knowledge rather than a specific area. So basically we make a resume and we say whatever we say on the top, like, hey, we are a Python expert, right? And then it starts writing Python everywhere. But since I'm in UI, I'm also mentioning, because Python UI is used with Angular or React, could be used, right? So basically you're trying to increase so this is what automation does, or maybe even recruiter does. It basically finds on how many hit he got for Python. And if it doesn't get 5 hit, they will not even shortlist you. That's the first thing for recruiter to even recruit. Like, you need to have 5 or 6 hit on it. So maybe you need to add a couple of projects. Like, maybe you can work on 2 projects, put them on the top, and put more Python word, what you're doing, and what data analyst, whatever you're trying to do, you have to start putting. And then so they're looking for what you're doing. Like, you have to say, I'm building something, I'm creating something. They're not looking for just name like this. Yeah, technology. People just mention this and they're done. Then, because good guy will actually look, okay, you are using Python, no worry, you're using React. What are you doing with it? So this is what we are talking about. So what you are actually building, we are Plus, it also tells about the project. So it tells about what the project is about, and this tells about what you are specifically. The project could be very big project, right? We are trying to save the world, right? But what you are exactly doing in Python in that, right? So that's what you have to highlight when you choose. So that's one thing you have to build is build your experience and then add that to your resume right away.
Sure, exactly.
Yeah, better resume, because this is how people do. If you have a better resume, you will get more shortlisted for more companies, and which increases your chance for selection. It's like it's not about randomly saying a bad CV, because you will be just getting rejected for no reason, right? Yeah, perfect application. So when you apply also, you need to put a cover letter. You need to have everything perfectly for that role you're applying. Suppose you want to apply for 2 jobs instead of one kind of job, right? I want Python and I also want architect, UI architect. Then I need to be really careful. I apply the correct profile to the correct job. Because if I send a generic CV, they will not send. If I send a CV with Python for architect, they will not shortlist me. If I send a architect CV for UI, I can say, hey, it's too senior, But you have to send the right CV to the right job. But for you, maybe you can be only starting with one. You will not have that confusion, right? You have to just mention Python and so that's one thing. Perfect application. Okay, so these you can write down. Once you learn Python, you can do. You could start applying to more jobs, and more means Python has lakhs of jobs. You can't really apply for lakhs, but we do write script to write. So you can write script to apply for jobs automatically. So that your CVs automatically get sent to lakhs of recruiters, and instead of you hunting a job, you get headhunted. So you could automatically apply to job. Like once you learn Python, maybe the first task could be like you could write automatic. You went to Naukri, right, and you start applying automatically. So I have a video how we have done it. So you could. That's another way to, like, once you apply that, you could actually start using it for your benefit as well. And of course, we also help you with interviews. Like, what we do is we give you access to similar kind of interview, real interview, and you also record your interview, right? Whenever you're giving interviews, you record interviews. That way we actually focus on what is your weak point, where you messed up, where did you wrong. So we analyze your interview, how you are. Sometimes knowledge is not about knowledge. Sometimes it's about how you present yourself. And again, we look into others people as well video. Like the way you will record, we will also look into, we will give you a link to other interviews, so that you don't have to fail to, failures is a pillars to success, but it need not be your failures. Okay, it could be somebody else's failure also. So learn from mistakes of others. So you can review some others interview and check what mistakes he have done or how well he has answered. So not only you can learn from failures, but you also can learn from where the interviewer appreciated the answer. And of course, you will be ready with what questions they are asking and other stuff. So this is how we track interview. So you're going to interview with full prepared, and we are still recording it so that we know. Because okay, if it could be lucky, but you may not be lucky. You may have to give 10 interviews. So we know we improve your posture and how you answer. So that's why that's another thing we look into that.
Okay.
Yeah, and of course we also give you access to all this question paper and test, like from IIT and other stuff, because most of the companies comes to all this NIT and IIT, right? And those students actually upload the question. So you are a disadvantage now, because you're no longer in a college. You don't have access to all these papers and other stuff. The aptitude test may be leaked. Like you say I'm applying to Wipro and they take an aptitude test, and you might score 80 because you don't know the aptitude. But if you know the aptitude test upfront, like what kind of question they're asking, you will score certainly higher, right? So that's another. So you have to score higher and higher in the test. It could be by either more practice, or maybe having access to the similar question paper from previous Wipro aptitude, or maybe Infosys, whichever company you're applying, or maybe you practice couple of them as well, not only Wipro. Why practice couple of them? You never know who is the interviewers, and they might certainly change the questions as well. Okay, I think that's it. Pretty much is the slide, right? And so I gave you the link, right?
Yes, you have shared me.
Yeah. So basically, add me, and if you need more help, we can get in touch and we can get you to one of these programs. Like especially if you need to stop the gap of sowing project, you can contact us and we will assign you some project which you can start helping. So we work to save the world. So you will be helping us save the world, and it will also build up your CV and experience as well.
Sure, Praveen. Sure. Thank you so much.
Because important is people don't like, and especially if you do some good project, we will somehow give you such work that it impresses the recruiter. Because if you have something to talk about your project, then the focus becomes, oh my goodness, he is really doing good work. They become more interested in your project. So that is the way to get a positive. Instead of they grilling you, now you're explaining the project, what is benefiting. So half an hour interview, 20 minutes you're explaining what the project is all about. So having a eye-catching project is very important, because because no matter how much you prepare, somebody will Google and ask some question which is stupid. Who needs to know the syntax? Right? They will ask some stupid. How do you do that? Come on, I can Google that, man. But they will still ask you. So we are trying to, suppose it's a half an hour interview, we want to spend most of the time discussing what you are doing and why your project is important, because that you can talk about half an hour, or you can talk about 5 days also, because you're working on the project. So that's why you have to have an eye-catching project, what you are doing and where you are doing, like user interface, so providing feature, and then you put in more detail, like you are not, because if you have only 1 or 2 projects, then you will actually add more bullet points. So if you went to my CV, I have multiple projects, but you will not. Maybe you will have 2. So what you have to do, you have to make the project really big like this. You have to say too many things about it, what you're doing and not doing. You have to make it big like this, because if you have less project, you have to highlight more, because you never know what they're looking for. Maybe they're looking for rocket chat. So more you describe, more chance of finding more hit. You got it?
Got it.
Yeah, no. So instead of, like, you can see, like previous we had big, and then I started making it small, because now I have like 50 projects to sow, so it doesn't really matter me. Like Python, they'll find like 20 matches. But if we have only 1 or 2 projects, then you have to make that project itself big. So basically, put more words, and we will look at the way we get the words is like we go to jobs, right? We go to jobs, right? And then we look into the job, what they are looking for. And then we make the reverse sentence of it. Like, suppose these guys are looking for something like a senior modeling. So we did a modeling analyst. So we are now making reverse statement from few of the requirements. So this is how you make your CV longer. And then you do something about it, right? Responsible for, like, sometimes you can even copy paste as well. Responsible design, development, implement applications, automate and improve. This sentence you can copy and put in your resume straight away. But you can't put this statement. So you have to be careful. Basic understanding of this you cannot. You can say expert in MLA concept, right? So analytical thinking, that you can't add in your CV, that you can add in the top, right? You actually, when you're talking about data visualization, you actually have to talk what you build about. Like you can say, build a graph using GraphQL or some other technology or data. So you have to actually write what you did. So, but this gives you hint what they're looking for. So, so these like 6 points give you hint what they're looking for in your CV. And similarly, if you look for 5 or 6 of them, now you will get suddenly 10 points to add to your CV, which probably you don't have to match everything, but probably like you will match a couple of them and even random. So if you add 10 of them, probably 5 will always match, no matter what kind of data analyst or Python role it is. Okay. So this is how you build up your CV, and then you actually do some work on it, right? It's not about just writing in your CV. It's also about then, so I am now writing data visualization. So let me do some data visualization. Then then you can write even more about it, right? Once you do the data visualization. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, good. So any other question you have?
No, Praveen. I just like cleared my mind previously before like attending this interview about what I deserve for what I'm looking for. The which I'm lacking is the projects, the where I need to, like previously I have enrolled for many courses in many institutions, but they just took my money and they didn't give me anything. So I felt bad about it. So
And
I
that's,
started.
yeah, that is
I
true,
st-
because institute doesn't help you. That's why we are different. We are not institute, right? We are an IT company and we have a different goal. Like when you tell our project, we are not, because the moment any company sees institute, they will say, hey, you're a learner. So that is the
yes.
point you have to avoid. That's what you have to start saying, because our company name has nowhere. Our company name in India is called Srest Information Technology Private Limited, and we have some of the big clients in the world, right? So we will even put you into some of the big clients, like UK client and US client, and we could, so that you can start putting them real. And we don't take much money. Probably it is a very complex. So the way we take money is, right, say we do charge a lot of money, 10,000 rupees per month, but you don't have to pay almost 99% of the money till you actually get your job. So we believe that unless we are successful, you need not pay me, because if we are failing you, then why should I charge you money? So that is our principle. So you basically, and that also, suppose you're getting less salary, you have to pay up to only 25% of your salary, right? So we charge 10,000 rupees per month, but most of them are deferred till you actually get your job, right? And we charge around 100 rupees per month just to make sure that you're interested, right? So it's a nominal charge we charge, but most of the money, like 9,900, you pay when you actually get a job. So that is the difference between us, because that way our trainers are more pressed to make sure that you get a job so that we can get paid. Do you understand how we work? How we change how we work,
Got it.
Yeah. So basically, our course is basically a 1 lakh course. It's either monthly course. You can 10,000. So you can probably join 3 months and see how it goes, or you can join the yearly course. But there's absolutely no payment. Like if you join the yearly course, it's only 1,000 rupees charges. Even though it's a 1 lakh fee, you have to pay no more than 1 lakh. Or you can join the monthly one, which is 10,000 per month, and you have to only pay 100 rupees in that month. And the reason we take the money is because you're working on real projects. It's for legal reason as well. The reason we are taking money, tomorrow, because you're actually working in real project, you might claim that you worked for my project and we didn't pay you. So that is the only reason why we take at least a token amount, so that the relationship between you and us is pretty much clear that you are a trainer. Even though rest of the world, you will not have to tell that. But there's a labor law in any country, right? So that is the only reason why we take money. That way we know the relationship is, you're a training student and you're paying me this much amount, right? For even though you're working on real project, you might still contribute. Suppose you're very good, maybe we will offer you the job also. Like if you're unsuccessful, maybe we will offer you the job, because we will feel bad, like, hey, we couldn't get you, but you already learned so much thing. Let's deploy us in our project itself, because we have so much work to do. Okay. So that's how we are different from other organizations. We don't really charge you 99.9% of the money, right? 10,000, we only charge you 100 rupees per month. That's it, nothing more. Got it?
Yeah, got it, Praveen.
Yeah. So, but remember, once you get the job, you're expected to pay the rest of the amount, okay? Because you will still need help to, because we still need to verify your employment and other stuff. There's a lot of overhead of keeping, when you write in your resume, because basically we have to support you for your entire career going forward. Because I still do get queries where employees have worked, or even trainers who have got trained with us like even 15 years ago, because they have put 6-month experience with us, and we have to keep supporting them till they need it. Okay. Any other question?
No problem. Thank you.
Okay. So yeah, so get in touch if you want to join us. So I hopefully gave you how to look for CV and other stuff. Like, we didn't want to do that you have to join. So I gave you some overhead, like how we look for which job to, where to focus, and how do we look into. But it's nothing that you have to join us. You can learn on your own as well. But you can always join us then, because we can then give you some of the good project like Ministry of Justice, or some very good project. As I said, like, it's all about standing out. because the company likes good candidate, you know, they like something who has done some good work. Okay. Chalo, take care. Bye.
Okay, Prabha. Bye.
Hey, how do we stop it?